Hello, everybody. I'm John.
And I'm Claire.
And today we're talking about an article called Samsung Chairman, which is talking about the current de facto leader of Samsung, Lee Jae-yong, and, kind of his brushes with the law and the possibilities of Samsung being too important to fail in a lot of ways, and maybe the realities of that as well. So we're going to get into that a bit more in detail in the article, but for now, did you know or use or think about Samsung before coming to Korea?
I did. Mm-hmm. I had a Samsung phone in the UK before I came to Korea.
Okay.
So we're talking back when we had little flip phones. I wanted something fairly cheap but fairly reliable, and Samsung were known to be affordable and reliable. So I had one.
So they were pretty well known in the country then at the time.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. There was a lot more competition back then in the cell phone market. There were a lot more options, but Samsung were known to be good.
And are they at all important in the UK? Would you call them important, I should say?
Well, other than the phones and maybe laptops, perhaps they're known for washing machines as well. But other than that, there's a small group of electronic items they're known for, and that's about it. Now, they are Apple's only rival, pretty much. Everyone in the UK either has an Apple or a Samsung. So they're significant in the phone market.
Yeah, they're important there at least.
Yes. How about in the US? Are they significant to the US, do you feel?
Well, again, it's the same thing. It's Samsung or Apple a lot of the times. People in the U.S. still will reach out for new different phone companies, HTC and other ones.
LG?
Motorola's really long ago. LG, but LG stopped making phones, so they can't anymore. And I think there's another Xiaomi or something, some other Chinese brand that got a little popular because they're really, really, really cheap. But yeah, otherwise, Samsung. In fact, now since you mentioned LG, I would call them a little bit more important these days because they caused a little bit of controversy. They're so popular for washing machines and dryers. They're so popular in the U.S. that a U.S. company, Whirlpool, tried to get the former presidential administration to put tariffs on LG imported washing machines because people in the U.S. were only buying LG and not Whirlpool. And I thought that was a little bit hilarious. But for Samsung, I don't know if I would call them important, but they're definitely a part of the economy in the U.S., for sure. Do you know anything about the leader, though? De facto leader, Lee Jae-yong?
I do remember. I was here in Korea when the Park Geun-hye administration fell from grace, and I was aware of him being on the news, being involved in that, and going to jail. And a few reports came out after that, even of how he was coping in jail. And again, I don't know the full story, but there were some positive reports about how, he wasn't trying to get special attention. He was just doing what everyone else was doing, or special services, or I don't know. I was vaguely aware of him for a few reasons.
Yeah. I would say my knowledge is about on par with yours. Just vaguely aware of the positive news that came out of his incarceration. And then I remember his father falling into a coma, I believe, and him, basically becoming the de facto leader. And now his more permanent title of chairman, which apparently in this article is different than another type of chairman, which I did not get at all. Let's go ahead and read the article, hopefully the full thing, and maybe do a little bit of our own research to know the difference between the two types of chairman. And we'll see you in the next section.
Samsung Chairman. Samsung heir Lee Jae-yong has been appointed chairman of Samsung Electronics. This makes official his de facto leadership since 2014, when his father became incapacitated. Lee has served prison time for financial crimes, and he still has some legal issues to deal with, but he has been granted a presidential pardon for the most serious charges. Most people support this, which shows the significance of Samsung in Korea's society and economy. Now is a hard time for the company, so Lee will face many challenges.